of other survivors. I also want to thank Chief Tony Holloway from the St. Petersburg Police Department for being here. In case you didn't know, Chief Holloway is a great partner of the Florida Holocaust Museum because he's had all of his officers from the St. Pete Police Department take part in our law enforcement and society training. And it's just a great partnership that we have, and of course, for keeping the museum and our staff and our visitors safe. I also want to thank Rita Wesley from Mayor Welch's office for being here, and City Council Chair Gina Driscoll. So thank you all so much, and I hope I get the chance to meet you when we move upstairs for lunch later. And now I get to introduce our board chair, Michael Eagle. Oh.
Hi everyone. No, good afternoon. Thanks so much for being here. What a special day for the museum, for the mission. Just so exciting, and as the grandchild of survivors, as the nephew of Holocaust survivors, this is just such a personally meaningful and special day. We cannot thank Representative Chaney enough for the work that she's done. Our relationship started on her tour of the museum, her first tour of the museum. And to know that it's blossomed into today, there aren't really words for it. I'm going to try after she speaks a little bit, but there really is. This is a day that is historic for the museum, and that is not an exaggeration. But today is about the work that you've done for us, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Representative Linda Chaney.
Thank you, Mike. As he said, I'm Linda Chaney. I'm State Representative for House District 61, which is primarily the beaches and parts of St. Petersburg. Before you hear from me in my remarks, Senator Boyd, my sponsor of this bill, or our sponsor of this bill in the Senate, would like me to share some remarks with you. As the Senate sponsor of the Florida Holocaust Museum appropriation, I am delighted to have had a hand in securing the funds to ensure visitors from the local and global community will be enriched by the museum. The Florida Holocaust Museum has curated a unique and crucial collection of photos, letters, art, and artifacts to edify the visitors. The importance of honoring the memory of those who suffered or died in the Holocaust, and teaching the inherent worth and dignity of human life is so important to all of us. Education is key to preventing such a genocide from ever happening again. I want to take this opportunity to thank my co-sponsor and House Representative Linda Chaney, my Senate colleagues, and Senate President Wilton Simpson for their support of funding this request. And I echo what Senator Boyd said, and I too am very honored to have secured funds to fill the needs of the Holocaust Museum, especially for the children's education area. The Florida Legislature and Governor DeSantis recognize the importance of educating our children about history, and I would like to highlight two bills specifically. HB 395 requires children in Florida be taught about communism and proclaims November 7th as Victims of Communism Day. And HB 1213 requires teaching about the Holocaust, anti-Semitism, and designates a Holocaust Education Week in Florida. We believe the education required by these bills will prevent an atrocity like the Holocaust from ever happening again. We commemorated these bills by hosting an actual boxcar from the Holocaust at the Capitol. It was very moving for the legislature to stand in that boxcar. I've had the privilege of visiting the Holocaust Museum in Israel. And I have to say, this community is incredibly blessed to have the quality and the breadth that this museum brings to us and the education that it brings to our community. Very impressive. As the late Holocaust survivor and volunteer Lizelle Schick told students, Hitler took away all of our worldly belongings, but the one thing nobody can ever take away from you is your education. I want to thank Senator Boyd, my fellow legislators, and Governor DeSantis, Speaker Sprowls, for their support in securing this funding. It's truly an honor to help the Holocaust Museum pursue their mission of education and wiping out hatred and racism. Thank you all. And now the best part. This is why we're here. Spend it wisely.
We actually have a couple of other board members here as well. I'd love to have them as well. And Council Chair Gina Driscoll is here somewhere. I was looking for her. So we'd love to have her as well.
You would join us?
Oh, there you are. Sorry, it's so light. Sorry.
Come on.
This check is big enough for everyone to get behind. We're smiling.
That's easy today.
For the next round, really, seriously, really. Okay, we're gonna add the chief and
Chief
Rita
Holloway.
Please, both of you.
Chief Holloway and Rita?
What's up?
Yes.
I can't see anything after the light, so.
I like
I'm in the white ball.
That's right, that's right.
This could be more appropriate with money for safety and security.
That's right.
I work for Baker.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, you don't get to keep the big check. But it will show up in your account. Okay?
Oh, it's a drag.
Okay, so I just gonna.
Representative Chaney, just one more thing. You know, just a little token of our appreciation. People, I was trying to think about what to say to you. And as I said at the beginning, it's really difficult, but people throw around words like transformational. This is really, that's what this is. But, you know, and what we do, we don't only transform facilities. We don't have the opportunity to just transform our facility. We transform people through our facilities, through the artifacts, through the stories. And you're giving us the opportunity to do that in an exponential way. And we are really going to change things even more than we already do. And we cannot do that without your support. So I know I speak for everyone at the museum, the staff, the board, the volunteers, frankly, the survivors and the victims, and thanking you for this, because it's that important.
Thank you. This is a real point of pride for me.